here we have a 2007 Audi Q7 3-litre diesel TDI, and the customer's issue was that they've got an engine management light on. They've also got an issue with the air suspension where the front end is slammed to the floor, and the problem with the engine management light is that the car is low on power. Now we've plugged onto the diagnostic machine and it shows us the P0235 boost pressure regulation range not reached. So it shows us that there's a problem with the turbo side, most probably a turbo leak. Now we've got our smoke test connected to help us identify where the leak is from, if there is a leak. You can see from the passenger front corner of the bumper that smoke is coming out, and our guess is that the issue is behind this bumper where the passenger side front intercooler is. Now we're going to go ahead, jack up the vehicle, take off the wheel arch cover and inspect it and see what the issue is. Okay, now we've taken off our wheel arch cover, and if you can see from underneath around there that the intercooler is broken. Looks like it's smashed into somewhere. Now for us to take off this intercooler, we've got to take off the front bumper, which we're preparing to take off. And once we've taken off the bumper, you can take off the intercooler and have a look at it precisely and clearly and show you exactly the points where it's leaking from, and go ahead and replace it with a new one. We're also cracking on with the air suspension, getting ready to take it off, disconnecting the assemblies, plugs, level sensors. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace these. Okay, so we've replaced our suspension struts, both sides for the front. Couldn't record it as we were very busy at the same time in the workshop, but these air struts, they come separate from the shock absorber, so you've got to take it off. It's got on the top, it's got 1, 2 and the third one there, 16mm bolts holding on the top. And make sure you watch out for this level sensor. You disconnect it, you don't want to damage it, and we separate it from the ball joint here, and you can just separate the throw bar link from here and the bolt that connects to the wishbone. Take it out, then you remove this top bracket here. It's held on by 4 30mm bolts. They can get access for the top mount, which is a 18mm, and replace the struts and put it back together. We're now with the diagnostic. It was showing a fault with the air compressor pump, which is located right here. When I done the diagnostics, I checked the live data, it was getting hot. So I was like to the customer, look, it's best that we replaced it, as this could give you a fault in the future as well due to it heating up so much. So we're going to replace that with the valve air block, and we should be putting the mudguard wheel arch liners on and the front bumper on as you replace the intercooler. Test it out and it should be ready to go. Okay, so now we've taken off the cover which was here, access the air compressor pump, which we just got to unbolt it, unplug the wires and unbolt it, take it from here completely, and then change the pump and the valve block on the bracket, put it back on, close it up, and then it should all be ready to go. Okay, so now we've mounted our new pump on the valve block. Here we have the old one, the old valve block. We'll be replacing the relay as well, as these relays are common to get stuck, and overrun the compressor and wear that one out as well. So now it's ready to bolt onto the body. Bolt up these the valve body, I mean the valve block, which sends the air to the struts, and it's labelled in each colour with front right, rear left, rear right, and then we should be ready to put it on, start it up, and take it from there. Okay, so the air compressor pump is in its place with all the air pipes connected, all the electrical sensors plugged on. Now we're just going to put the wheels on, bring it down, plug the machine in, clear the codes, start the car up, and see how things go. As you can see, the front end is rising now. As well as the driver's side front. Looks like the air suspension system is fully working now. When we put in the front bumper back together, the wheel arch liners, taking it for a test drive. Before we see that everything's good and hand it over to our customer, we will keep you updated. We will show the diagnostic machine. It shows that the adaptation isn't carried out for the air suspension. Until the adaptation is done, you can't really choose the options to lift or off-road or comfort. We will also show with the machine how to do the calibration, and then the light should turn off, and then it should be all good to go. Okay, so we finished off the vehicle yesterday. Left it overnight to see if the suspension struts are gonna go low, if there's any leaks, but they all seem perfectly fine. Now we're just gonna carry out the adaptation, take it for a test drive, and then should be ready to hand over to our customer. So we've got the light illuminated on the dash, and when this is on, you basically can't choose any of these functions so far. 1 and 2, let's say lift the car, and it shows unavailable. You want to go off-road, so it's unavailable. It's just like an automatic. Until you do the calibration, you won't be able to access any of these adaptive air suspension modes. Okay, so we've got the suspension calibrated, raised the vehicle. Now I had to use around, I used around 3 different diagnostics to get it calibrated, because the launch tabs that I was using wasn't doing the calibration, so I couldn't really record the calibration stage. But as I said, to calibrate it, for each wheel you need to measure the distance from the bottom of the wing to the center of the wheel and put in the value in millimeters. Now, as we replaced the intercooler as well, we took it for a road test after, see if there was going to be any fault codes, error codes or power cuts, but everything's all good, everything's all fine. Now we will lower the suspension back to normal, and it is now, put it back onto comfort. It's unavailable. Unavailable. I think maybe because the door's open. Foot's on the brake. Let's try now. Yeah. Now it should be going down. Still an error with the headlights, but I think they've put the Xenon conversions. So you can see the front end is lower, now the rear end will start going down. So the rear end is going down as well. So all seems good now, and the vehicle is now ready to hand over back to our customer. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you guys can like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you.